listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle in the building. That's right. Rich Sizzle's in the building. G Sizzle's in the building. And we've got to talk football. We got to talk what's hot, the hot fire, the hot lava, the hot fire sale coming out of Seattle right now. It's a everything must go, and they sent it all out. So Seattle said, no more of you, no more winning. We don't need to win any more stinking games. We'll just send you away. Now, the only thing that was in negotiation was that Russell Wilson was sent to the Denver Broncos, but we are still trying to negotiate if the Seahawks will retain the rights to Sierra. They're trying to level up to get her right back now, but they've let Bobby Wagner go and they've let some more people go. Yes, I don't know if she's going. I don't know.
Sierra might be not doing the 1-2 step up in.
But where's she not going to go?
Well, no one has said
Sierra might not be. You know, the mile high and all this type of stuff.
You know, you go from like constant rain to now constant snow. I think they're getting a bad deal out of this.
I think they've gotten an extremely bad deal out of this, but everybody seems to be getting a bad deal if you played for Seattle at any point during this season, because everybody but Pete Carroll's got to go. He's the only 70-year-old that you know that has job security. So right now, the Seahawks have no running back. Security. They have no quarterback. They have shaky offensive line. They have no defenders. And, oh, by the way, they're over the salary cap. But in better news, Aaron Rodgers is the most overpaid person in the world. Yes, he negotiated against himself with Green Bay against themselves, and they gave him the richest contract in the history of the NFL. Terms have not been released, but it's upwards of nearly $200 million for a man that'll be 80 by the time this check is done. And yes, they're keeping Devontae Adams by franchise tagging him and not letting him go to freedom. He'll be double and triple covered over again. Please see our fantasies episodes where you don't pick Devontae Adams for your fantasy team because you
don't do it.
You'll lose, dude.
What are they gonna build around that though?
Man, Aaron Rodgers' contract is $153 million guaranteed. So they're not going to be able to sign nobody up there.
Oh my God! Oh,
they have no.
He's only going to win 3 ball games in the next 3 years, and all both are going to be against the Bears.
They have they have a worse draft situation than the Bears do right now. Didn't they have to give up like 5 first-round draft picks to Seattle?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Seattle's going to be horrible this year, but in years to come, they got some assets right now when it comes to the draft.
Well, Seattle, really, what you're looking at, the players that were shipped out are just filler. Right now, you're looking at that first round and that second round pick that they got. Those are the things that are important right now. But, I mean, there are a lot of teams that have been making some moves today. They've been franchise tagging people. My man, I call him Dutch Schultz. In Dallas, he gets franchised because you need a good tight end. You need a good tight end. Now, Brother Gregory, they said, get on out of here. We don't need pass rushers. We need tight ends. You get out of here, buddy. In fact, it seemed like every tight end in the league was franchise tag. I don't know why, but it just happened like that. And
you know what's the
Bears have got no.
You know what else is terrible?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you know what else is terrible? Think about if you're Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf, you're like, oh, hey, Russell, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Next thing you know, you call Russell's number and Drew Lock picks up the phone. How you doing? I'm Drew Lock. I'm your quarterback. What?
Hello? You just called.
I'm sorry, I called Russell Wilson.
Man, Russell just cut off his phone. Isn't that crazy? Like, you call him like, Russ, seriously. Hello?
Your call cannot be completed as dial.
Right. His ringtone is a 1-2 step. Russell's doing the 1-2 step.
Yeah, well.
Now that's a travesty though. To look at the potential that DK Metcalf has as a receiver.
Oh man!
Now you realize
all you got
his draft stock now You'd be surprised he gets drafted fantasy wise in the 7th, 8th round. Getting thrown, getting passes thrown to Drew Lock.
Jacob Eason. Who? Who is that? Who?
Better off letting Tyler Lockett be the quarterback.
Probably. I mean, could they be the first Wildcat team that just plays all Wildcat? You just get a running back there.
So who's gonna lose more games? Are the Packers gonna lose more games or Seattle?
Oh, Seattle, most definitely.
This year it's Seattle. Mm-hmm. Now,
I don't know.
But here's the scuttlebutt, and see if you like this. Here's the news out there is that Seattle is packaging things together, getting picks together, getting their acquisitions together to go and acquire who? Wait a minute, wait for it. They're looking to go and get Deshaun Watson.
Massage man. He's gonna be a new Marvel character, Massage Boy. He just gonna run around with massage table, just throw a massage table out there, and just take off all his clothes and just lay down.
They don't need to put no draft assets aside to get him. Anybody will take him right now. They'll give you draft picks to get Deshaun Watson.
I'm just trying to see, is Deshaun Watson ever going to play again? And hey, shout out to Bill Cosby.
Oh, yeah.
Who did not go back to jail. So shout out to you because they were trying to get the Supreme Court to put you back in jail. And if Bill Cosby can be free, so can Deshaun Watson. Hashtag free R. Kelly.
Bill need to start spreading out the Quaaludes to all the honeys. He'd have been all right.
Hey,
just the Quaalude kid.
It's not a party. The Quaaludes don't get some. That's all I'm saying, Jack. That's all I know. Where do you go?
Who would ever thought today? Who would ever thought today that Bill Cosby would be more despised than O.J. Simpson?
Oh, good one. Oh, that's a good one.
I still don't think that's accurate, but
I don't either. But it was good for the moment.
Look, you think about it. You're talking about the pudding pop kid, Mr. America, and then the next thing you know, he's in the Who's Cow. Talking about, I mean, what a fall from grace, though. You know what I'm saying? OJ didn't fall that far. I mean, he fell far enough, but he didn't fall as far as Bill Cosby did.
And OJ didn't go to jail though.
OJ wasn't in jail?
Not for that. Not for what he's infamously known about,
Oh, yeah. He went to OJ being stupid. Yeah. He went to
OJ went to stupid jail. That's where he went.
Yeah. He didn't do time for the alleged murder that he did.
Yeah, allegedly.
Actually, what was going on was OJ was at the time auditioning for a new role. It was the pre-Power show, so he was auditioning for 50 Cent. He was going to be in as a gangster.
Wow.
And that's what you do. I mean, Juicy Smollett did it. Once you're in that role, you just believe that you are that character and you can just do whatever you want to do. So, I'm just saying, man. I know this has gotten way off.
That's the greatest skit of all time.
Of all time.
That's the greatest skit of all time.
But all I can say is this. All this. And the key is now AFC teams have cap space. NFC teams are maxed out. You're not going to see a lot of movement. So guys who are going to get cut, those cap casualties, what's going to happen in Green Bay? Because there is going to be a fallout from a team where, 64% of your whole cap is made up of two players.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's going to be terrible.
Yeah, I don't see how they're going to be competitive at all. And I sort of, I'm rethinking this a little bit with the Broncos. It's going through my head a little bit. They had to do something over there because you figure they're dealing with Patrick Mahomes in the same area. You got Josh Allen over there. You got Justin Herbert, who I believe is going to be, I call him Haybird Circle. He's from Louisiana. And he, I think he's going to probably end up being one of the best quarterbacks out the whole group. It's him. And so if they don't have that firepower over there to light it up, it's going to be a problem. And so they had to do something because Denver's got a good squad. I mean, that's not a bad squad over there. If Russell can pull this thing together down there, do it, show a little Tom Brady love down there, show a little guidance, he might have a chance to take that team going somewhere. That team's not too bad.
Well, as you look at it right now, they're going to face Seattle again this season. You know what, to tell you the truth, I see Denver somewhere around 11, 12 wins, maybe 13 wins.
Yeah, they're not going to be. Denver's going to be a good squad. I think with Russell Wilson, I think they're going to be dangerous. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a bad move for Russ because he wasn't going to win nothing up in Seattle. That was over with.
Denver, they're in the same conference with the Chiefs, so they're going to beat the Chiefs twice.
They split with the Chiefs.
The Chiefs ain't look like killers. The Chiefs haven't looked like killers lately. You know, Patrick Mahomes' magic sort of done slid off a little bit. His little fairy dust stopped fairy dusting. So I don't know. You know, I don't know
with the Raiders.
Yeah, that's a win.
They're not no bums right now. They're halfway.
That's still a win. The Raiders are only a first half team. If you can make to the second half with them, you can just keep Derek Carr from doing weird things. You can win. It's Russell Wilson. It's Russell Wilson. It's Sierra. How can you go wrong? You can't lose like that. You can't lose like that. Okay. And I'm just saying this. I'm putting this out there for G Sizzle. This opens the door for Justin Fields to come in and take over the world. I'm telling you right now, you're going to have a world where Justin Fields is a great quarterback, and guess who's going to be right there with him and doing his thing? Mitchell Trubisky. That's right. The trending topic of the last 2 weeks.
Hey, let's ask a question. Let's throw it out there. Who, if somehow or another Mitchell Trubisky finds a way to start in the league, who's going to have a better year next year, Mitchell Trubisky or Justin Fields?
I'm going to ride with Just.
Well,
depends on where Mitch goes.
Give me a why you're going to ride with Justin. Because I know some guys right now talking about, Jay, you always be cracking on Justin Fields, blah, 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 blah. But have you seen enough to think he's going to be your franchise quarterback? Have you seen enough? I mean,
I've seen enough
that's
to
my
know
guy.
He's not the franchise quarterback.
Give him the keys to the Bears for the next decade. Let him Russell Wilson us.
I've seen
you know what I'm saying?
Mitchell Trubisky to know that he's nobody's franchise quarterback.
I'm talking about Justin Fields, though. Is he our franchise quarterback? Is he the guy going to take us to the promised land?
One thing that you talked about earlier, Greg, was the cap space, which the Bears have. Mm-hmm. They have a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. So now
close to $30 million.
It's up to Chicago to figure out what they can put around him to give them a sense to compete. Now, if they do nothing with it, I'm okay with letting Allen Robinson walk. Mm-hmm. I am. But I'm not okay with letting him walk and you don't bring nothing back in return. You should be bringing 2 receivers back in to the fold after you let him walk, or have a good heart-to-heart with him about his future or whatever like that. But if you don't leave out of this situation, you have a golden opportunity. You know that Green Bay is locked in, where the best they're going to do is what they have now. They can't build around anything.
No.
You have the best opportunity to compete right now. And if you can't build around that with the money that you have, you're the only team in your division that has some money to spend. So go out and get it and figure it out. You don't have draft picks, so you got to spend it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just saying, so let's say you get a Jamison Crowder, you get an MVP, you pull some of those Green Bay receivers. You go and get some of those guys that they have, those tenure guys, those ones that they've got to make some money, and you bring in, along with a Mooney, you've got a decent run game. You've just got to get a substantial left tackle. I'm not saying that they have the best line, But to this point, and Jay, you could speak to it much better than I could. I think that the young man you drafted with back problems, which kudos to the Bears, said they will not draft anybody with medical red flags any longer. But if you get a left tackle, you've already gotten a right tackle. I think if you can hold the kid up and give him a real offensive set, we may be able to see something. I can't tell you what he was last year because I don't know what that foolishness was we saw with Matt Nagy.
The issue is you look at this, right? I think they were 25th in passing yards in the league, 23rd in total yards per game, and they're running, at least they were middle of the pack in rushing, 14th in the league. The question is, can they put together an offensive line, just like you're saying, that can flip this around and put them in the top 10% of the league? Can they be top 4 or 5 in rushing? Because that's what they're going to need to be able to win in this league. They got to run the football so Justin Fields can throw the football. If you're just going to put it in this kid's hands and let him run around back there, because we know 2 things he does not do well. First thing, he don't know how to slide. I hope somebody takes him down to Mesa, Arizona, and teaches him how to slide. The Cubs or the Sox, one of them, teach him how to slide. And number 2, he does not get rid of the football. He holds on to the football like it's his firstborn. He loves his football. It's his favorite football. He probably signs every football and burps it before he comes out there because he will not let it go. And he's going to have to throw the football if he's got to get it out of his hands and not take a beating, because he's one of these guys. We've already seen it already. He's a guy that gets banged up and nicked up, and he ain't played too many snaps in the NFL right now. And he's already hobbled around as it was. We saw that last year, getting folded up and everything else. So I just don't know. I mean, they're going to have to do a miracle with this offensive line, because I think that's where everything lies right now with this offensive line. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see 3 new players on the offensive line right now. And I'm wondering if Tevin Jenkins is going to make the cut. I'm wondering if he's going to get released.
That's big stuff. I mean, you can see it on the defensive side of the ball, where I'm quite sure Akeem Hicks is getting released, probably Bilal Nichols. Probably you're going to get some. I think if you can do like Buffalo and get rotations of young, good players who come in now that you're playing that 4-3, I mean, you've got some options there. I don't think you can get rid of Khalil Mack only because of his contract. I don't think it makes any sense to try and get rid of his contract, because you've got something like $30 million of dead money that you'll have.
Oh, you owe him $30 million.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. But I do see, if you get a substantial offensive line, it could work. Rich, my question would be, as a counter to Jay's, is it what we're seeing with Justin Fields? Isn't it the same thing we saw with Deshaun Watson his first year at the Texans, when he was getting bashed and slapped around? Now, he did have a wonderful receiver, an okay running game, but he was getting pimp slapped all over the field. He was getting pimp slapped and folded up, but he could slide. He had a nice slide.
But Justin Fields is nowhere, can't even be compared to the Texans quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you can compare him. I mean, I compare him. I mean, they both like Caesar haircuts. I can compare the two. They work out together. I compare them. I mean, let me tell you something. If you're the Bears, you better hope he's Deshaun Watson-ish and not like my man from Tennessee.
They should have took Deshaun Watson when they had the chance. This is what their problem is.
Yeah, okay. We'll see how that happens.
Yeah,
but what we got to see out of Deshaun Watson was we got to see him substantially play from behind. Now, the Bears' defense was good enough to keep them in the games. So the whole season, it wasn't like they were down substantial. Absolutely. And they had to like climb their way, back up. So you saw Deshaun Watson air it out quite a bit. And you're like, whoa, this guy's got an arm. We didn't get to see that with Fields because, well, first, he didn't start the season. He came off. He only got in after somebody else got hurt. And you could just tell, like you said, with this Nagy system, that it wasn't tailored around him at all. So it was just playing on the fly. I'm anxious to see this team now take a vested interest in him and then looking at what his talents could be and making it better. I want to see him actually throw the ball. I don't even remember how his arm looks like when he's throwing it. I just remember him running for his life in the pocket most of the season. So like Jay says, and like I said earlier, spend the money and build around him, keep him safe and keep him protected. Protect that man at all costs. You don't have to have the number one line or the number one offense, but you've got to give him 4 or 5 seconds to do what he has to do to make that decision. Like you said, don't always run and then not slide. Throw it away.
Right.
Buy yourself time. Manage the game. That's all we're really asking for right now out of this season. We'll worry about you doing the Tom Brady next year after you have a little more to build off of and bailing us out and things like that. Right now, just learn the game. That's it.
Yeah. So we'll get ready. We'll leave it there, Jay. We'll leave you with the last word. As you've seen the moves, this starting of your tagging and trading, what are your last and final thoughts of what you've seen of the NFL so far, G Sizzle?
I just see that the Bears did absolutely did anything about their wide receiver position. So I don't know how they're going to win with Mooney being your number one wide receiver. Don't know how you're going to do that. And I think that move Russell Wilson made, that was probably the best move he could make. I think that makes Denver a contender. I really do. They got young talent over there. I think Russell's going to do well. And Aaron Rodgers is just going to put it to the Bears 2 times a year for the next 3 years, and that's what it's going to be. He's going to go 500 up there, but he's in the NFC North. So that 500 actually means he's going to go 10-6 and make the playoffs, and like he's been doing, he's going to get exited first round of the playoffs like he's been doing. So it's going to be the same old. I don't see too much change, and I hope that the Chicago Bears actually have opportunity to build an offensive line. But again, that money that they have with no draft picks, with that roster move, I think that's why you see the coaching staff and the GM that you got, because I think other people who are more established there, they didn't want no part of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I can leave it there. I'll say you better make the best of these 5 picks that you can. And that's right, baby. If you're ready to clear house, then Matt Eberflus is ready to flus you, and you're going to be flused out of the Bears. And then
you're going to be flused.
Yes, you're going to be flused, and you will go as just the way that Marty Booker went from the Bears. Quickly. You'll go away quickly, and nobody will know you.
Yikes.
How long before football season starts? We got about, another 160 days or something like that?
Man, why are you playing with my emotions?
We ain't going to have no baseball, though, man. What we going to do? Oh, March Madness. So this is going to be great.
5
March
months until preseason is even up.
Hey, man, shout out to Illinois. Shout out to Illinois going in there, putting boom flops down. You got a boy who was supposed to come out and go into the league, and he said, I'm not going out and going to the league. I'm going to stay here at Illinois, and I'm going to be the greatest center of all times.
Yeah, shout out. I mean, Illinois, the flying Illini, they look good this year. I mean, but you look at the guys that AO is out of the Illini, and they've turned it, whatever they got going on down there, they got the right mix because they're turning out really top-notch players down there. And what's amazing this year, you saw what happened to Krzyzewski getting whacked by North Carolina up there. So you figured the Dukies aren't really something you have to worry about this year. So I'm thinking it might be open this year. This tournament might be the best tournament we've ever seen because anybody, these mid-majors, everybody got a chance to win. Rutgers, Butler, everybody got a chance to win. So it's going to be interesting.
And shout out to my boy, Brother Valentine, Loyola, and Sister Jean did it again. Just madness all in there. March. It's March Madness, son. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be super fantabuloso.
Is this the time we see a 14 or 15 seed go all the way this year? I mean, this is about as even as we've ever seen it. There's not really super dominant teams right now in the NCAA like it used to be. Even Kentucky's not what they used to be.
Kentucky sucks. Duke sucks, and there's not going to be a 14 that goes all the way, but maybe a 10.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll say a 10, but I will not say that the blue bloods are blue anymore.
Anybody out the Horizon League gonna go?
That was just uncalled for, sir. I'm
sorry, my bad.
That's uncalled for. The Horizon League is a great league of great American.
Hey, shout out to Whitney Young putting it to. Did you see that Whitney Young put it to? I forgot. I think they whooped on Kenwood, and Whitney Young's coach came out there and was just talking mad trash. Somebody was like, what do you think about this rivalry we had? He says, "Oh, there ain't no rivalry if the other team ain't won no games against us."
Shout out to Whitney Young. Shout out to Whitney Young.
Whitney Young cracking.
And shout out to the girls in the region. The girls' regional basketball team has been on fire. Man, there's a lot going on in basketball. We got to talk about it some more. And the next time we reconvene with this foolishness, we'll talk about Chicago Bulls. That for some reason
I told you
to not want to play against any of the best teams in the league.
I told you this team they're going out early. I told you, in flames.
You'll see.
Yeah, okay.
You'll see. Have I been wrong too many times in this show? Not really.
Oh, but they're just going to disappear over the horizon. All you're going to see is a puff of smoke.
All right, you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle. And we will see you, our friends, on the other side.
Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Iron Skillet Sports. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Iron Skillet Sports on YouTube at Iron Skillet Sports.